Morning or good evening, guys. Mark from SETH in France. I'm gonna present you today the Team Magic SETH Forest version, and we're gonna talk also about the difference between the 4s and the 6s. I have already ordered the 6s, but not become at that time. We will also do the comparison between, how I say in the first video, between the RTR buggy and the SETH, if it's the 4 or 6 is equal, and then we're gonna show you the difference between the 4 and the 6's version, who's really small. So, radio system is the same that you see on all Team Magic. If you want to hear from me how this works, you can check out the B8ER unbox video, or not unbox but presentation video about this. I really like the look from this truck. I like also the size. This is a 370mm wheelbase car. First, to do that, back in the time, this is the wheelbase from a truggy 1/8 scale. Buggy is most of the time 320, 330, truggies 370s, 380s. But so they use a truggy chassis and put the buggy axle on it to make short course or desert buggies. And I guess the first to do it was a team associated with the SC8. An amazing car, a super car that we all loved back in the time. Then you have the SC8.2 with some small difference in there. Was also cool. And then you get the Hobao 8AC. The Team Asso disappear and come back as DB8. That's cool, but we hope that Team Asso will do back and short course with that car also. Hobao still makes the SC8, not make a cage buggy with it, but you can put on the Hobao the cage from the SC8. You can put that body on, you can put that body on the other, like you want. You can also do this with an other truck. You can do it with an armor. You can take the buggy just by the Italian chassis plate or a Creighton chassis plate, depending what you want for weight distribution, the center dog bone, and put the front and rear axle from the buggy and the longer chassis, and put a 1/8 scale short cross on the top body, or a cage. That's only depending on you and your imagination and what you want to spend for money. So now Team Magic made also that one. The first who comes out was the SETH 6S. When I see first the 6S, I find it cool, but I don't like two things. First, they have really heavy brightener here on the CVD to put the tires away from the body, and the 6S has a strange, for me, it's a strange looking thing, this back wing here really high on top. Then they make a 4S who has a different back on the body and other colors. I really prefer the color from this one, especially the 4S you can also get in yellow and light blue, but this is really the way I prefer the SETH 4S. And in the beginning I also think that the 4S was based on the B8ER, sorry. And that's not the fact. He's really the same size that the 6S. Main difference between the two is body, electronic. And in the beginning, normally you should have plastic shocks on the 4S, and that's also the difference on the price. You get about 100 to 120 euro difference between the 4 and the 6S. But now, many from us who get the 4S get it also with the alloy shock, so the only difference is the motor and the ESC. The ESC is the quick run, downgrade to 100 amps and 4S with 5 function to change, and they put the 4S motor from the B8. Problem is 250 kV with an 68mm long motor is way too weak for this heavy weight. They put a small pinion, they put a 13 tooth pinion gear on it, but it's still heavy. Tops out from the box to 80 km an hour with 4.8 kilograms. I mean, 5 kilo for 4S is a little bit heavy. With so much kV you will have heat issue, you have also heavy emptor, and that means a short runtime for your truck if you run it a little bit harder. It's something no one from us like. So I will make a test drive, but not with the stock motor. I already put the stock motor away and put a 74mm 2200 kV motor, but I keep the same pinion. So the car is slower because I lose 300 kV on 50 volts. That means 3000 RPM are missing here, but I really think that way I will have enough power, better runtime and less heat, and it will be drivable like the Timasso DB8, because this is really the concurrent from the DB8, and we are also in the same price class here in Europe between DB8 and this one. This is the box from the buggy. Because it's a new one, you get a specially box for him, not like the other T-Magic trucks where you have only some part pop it on to say it's another car in the box. He looks cool on the box, he looks also cooler in real. You can get, how I said before, 2 different colors. Hope more is coming. The LED bar in the top is functional. I miss some little rear light. It's a small thing. It's also not important. What is better on this one than on the DB8 out from the box are the tires. Not the looking. I prefer the look from the other tires from the DB8, but the compound is really better here, stiffer. Many people has issue on the DB8 with destroying the tires, but it's typical. The DB8 should be no, it's also a desert buggy, so it's made for sand and something, but the tire really a little bit too soft. These are stiffer. They are the same diameter, 135 millimeters, 40, 10, 20, 30, 40, 135 millimeters diameter. It's also cool because you can put 2 tires on a buggy if you want. Many people drive buggy in off-road and wild off-road to bash, and have issue with the standard buggy tires because the buggy is too low in the ground with that. With this one you can go higher. What's cool because of the brightener is that you also can put some GT tires on, who are smaller but they are away from the hub, so you have no issue with it. You can also put Proline Badlands on or other stuffs. That works. But keep in mind, if you put heavier tire or brighter tire, or not brighter but brighter, and or bigger tires in diameter, or tire with more grip, you have to reduce the gear to keep the motor at a cool temperature. You cannot just put here some monster truck tire and go drive. It's clear you will be way faster, but you will also way faster destroy LiPo and overheat the motor. I love this one here from the side, and I also think even if from the form you have not many detail in the truck from the form, from the inside laying body panel, the colors are made from a cool wise, so you really good see the pilots in there, unlike on many other trucks. And I forgot one brand in this 1/8 keel desert buggy shortcuts thing is HPI. HPI made the Apache ST, and one I prefer, and many of us also, the Apache T1 desert buggy. Has a cool body, but underneath we expected more from HPI. Also HPI for the 3rd or 4th time now goes down in the ground, come up because someone buy it up, and the price do the same. I don't know at this time if they will do again the Apache C1 or DB. They had also absolutely mess on the ESC on the truck. I hope they come back. I hope the price will be cool, and I hope that we get better electronic in the trucks from HPI. So you get SO, you get Hobao, you get T-Magic and HPI, who has trucks with or desert buggy or shortcut buggy in 1/8 kil with 370mm. And how I said before, if you want to do it yourself with a Techno, with an SO, with a low Z, you can do it yourself with really super easy. Personally, I would prefer that T-Magic has done here truggy arms instead of put so heavy long widener on the tires. With longer A arms, longer shocks, you will have more ground clearance, more suspension travel and less stress here on the B-rings. But I was saying the B8 ER unboxing, these are exactly the same size arms than the B8. You have beefier upper arms than the B8. You have newer shocks, same size but newer shocks. And it's clear because it's long, you have an over chassis, you have under center dog bones, and you also have a different center diff holder. You can here put only 4 screws away to go to the center diff without putting the motor out and that stuff. And I think that this is something we will see on the next generation B8 ER. I already asked T-Magic if they would do for us truggy arms, longer arms, longer upper arms, maybe longer shocks, so we can make T-Magic B8 ET R truggy. We can also put the longer arms here and put this brightener away here to have more travel on that one. But this is typically a car you're not gonna bash hard. It's for those who more like to see run the cars, because it's a really cool looking truck. Suspension out of the box is set pretty cool, but I also see I have an issue in the front. I had to set up the grub screw in the A-arms to not have an issue with the output drive shafts, because the CVD is 2mm too long. That means if you really unleash the A-arms to have a big ground clearance in the front, you will have issue with the X. I will put the body away after that for show you better. With the pin from the CVD who hits in the bottom of the output drive shaft, and this will clearly destroy your differential. That's something we see on many other cars. It's the same basically as the B8 ER, but the B8 has not this issue because it has all the CVD in the front. They are shorter, and that's why they not have this issue. I will maybe gonna try to put the CVD from the B8 in the front of this car. If it's long enough, maybe it will be too short, don't know, but I will check it. I will do it to see if I can have more ground clearance in the front. It's clear enough for many of us, but I usually drive in more heavy terrain, so I really love suspension travel. I'm a freak from suspension travel, even if a car with many suspension travel is not so easy to drive than a lowered car, but I like this. I'm a monster truck freak and a high CG freak. I love this. The body is just put on the car with 3 body holder. They are really beefy, but I think that's not enough. I prefer to add here a brighter mount with 2 pins in the front and a brighter mount in the rear with 2 pins in here. We have 2 in the rear, I will show you that. but when it comes out from the box it's all flimsy, it's all rumbling around, because you have more than 2 centimeter play on the body. It's just really rumbling, and when you drive make that's the shitty noise we don't like. Easy, just put a foam under and away goes the sound. It's not a big deal, but I hope to see some upgrades. For put body away, 1 pin in the front, 1 pin in the rear, then you can put the spare tires away. But take care, you have some little washer on the rear tire, not lose it on the field. Then I have put a foam because the spare tire also rumble around here. Then you have 2 pins in the back under this tire, and then you can put away the body. Take care because you have the wire from the LEDs in the top. The body is really well done. It's the same feeling plastic as you can get on Team Esso or the Apache. Seems to be really tough. They really put much plastic on this. You have everywhere, you have how to say, I don't know the word of English from this part, the straightener in all size. What you have to take care about, this is something you have on all cars who have a body panel in the body with some drivers, especially on cage, is that the cage will move on heat and you will destroy the inner parts here, because this is Lexan, this is screwed on, and if you have too much deformation of the cage, you will rip this off. So only can tell you the best way to put this way in is with Velcro straps. If you can do it, put some Velcro in there, so if anything happens to the cage, in the best case, you just have to go to the car and put the Velcro backs, because with screws it's look like tough, but you will destroy it. I can guarantee you that. I have tried on all cars I had with I had the SC8-1, the SC8-2, I have the DB8, I have now the SETH, I had the Apache, I had it all, these cage cars with body panel, with the pilots in there, also in 110 scale, and in all case you have this destruction. In the car it's almost the same that DB8, just weight distribution is different. They not just make the chassis longer in the back and make a super long dog bone in the back. They put dog bone front and rear, and a longer front and longer rear, and the weight is in the middle from the car. That's cool because you have already the rear spare tire will make some weight in the back, so it handles a bit different than the buggy. The Servo Saver is different than a buggy because it's down here and the buggy is up, and you have here a different angle. This part is different from the buggy, so you have more power going through the direction. You have the same servo. The servo is a little bit slow. In the buggy it's okay, but here with 1 kilogram more, I will see it after the tests. Maybe it will be too weak for this car on a long time. We have also here the this bad servo horn here, and how I said just before, with this heavier weight, this clearly will be an issue in this car. So I have a 74mm motor, how I say, not the stock 2500 kV. I keep in the moment the stock ESC. I will drive this car 4S, it's enough for me. Originally you become 2 XT90 plugs, you can put a loop in the second if you want to drive one battery only, but it's not provided with the truck, so you have to buy one yourself or make it yourself. I solder to one plug because I drive only one battery for SO6s. Different than a DB8 is the front top plate, who has a hole down for the wires. That's cool. Clearly then they could make shorter wires on the motor, but I like the fact that they let the long wires, so if someone buy a truck and buy just another roller with different setups. You can take the electronic from this one and put to another cars. It's something many times we hobby driver do that, to put the electronic from one car to another. Sometimes you have the AC here, the motor here, or something. You need to have more longer motor wires, so that's cool. Chassis brace, same as the B8. Stamped aluminium, also shock towers and chassis, top plate, Ackerman plate. And that's it. I, for the moment, had the stock setup on the shocks, also on the differential, because they feel here 10,000 kCST, 50,000 kCST, and in the back 100,000. So a really loose back and a harder front. That's typically what I do. I maybe gonna put also a little bit some harder fluid in the front, but seems to be not bad, so I will drive this that way. The car is heavier, so I'm not gonna lose so fast the ground with the tires, and I also have not so much power than in there. I have the same power now in 4S in that track than in the B8, but this one never really is 6S. Same optional parts than the B8. You can get the top plate, the arm holder, the shock towers, but because you have different A-arms here, in the moment you will not get all the A-arms. Alloy freak. One moment please. So I tell nothing wrong here. You can get the CNC machined main gear, the new adjustable motor mount. That's something you not get on the B8 because you not have that system, but because it's the same chassis, you can clearly. We're gonna check out something. Yes, it's also 3mm. It's the same, really the same whole space here. So that means you can use that one in the B8 if you buy the front plastic part here, this new CNC machined motor lay down, and the top plate from the SETH. But I really guess that they will do a new buggy with these parts. Another rear chassis brace, lighter output drive you don't get for that one, but I'm gonna check. This is all something we're gonna check out. Has this buggy different differential than the B8? That's something I don't know. We're gonna check out. You had here optional, that's something I not like, optional steel shock holder. Original plastics, I don't like that because on hard hits you bend the screw. Regarding that, the Magic use 3.5mm screws. If you bend it, you have to buy specially 3.5mm screws or change the sock lay down with another brand. You have the rear carrier shock tower, just rear. You can see on the other side. Aluminium shock absorber, because the 4S, how I say, should have in the original plastic, but you have already you have also here the axle with the E-clips I not like. Here also, like on the B8, you can change it with stainless screws. The rear lower arms, the mega bright wheel mount system, chassis brace, not chassis brace, arm brace, arm holder brace, aluminium. And we're gonna see on the other side, there it is. That's something I not checked in the first time I had the sheet in the hand. This is for the one part, and these are the rest from the parts. So you get the front arms, the rear arms, all holder, the upper arms holder, front rear shock tower. You really get, like also the front chassis brace, like on the B8, you can have all parts with aluminium. we're gonna come back to this on the comparison between the two, because now I have another image. See stuff a little bit different. That's also something cool for doing the video in French, German, and English. In French, because I'm a French guy, it's a French channel, I first do the video in French, then I do it in German. In German I already know a little bit more on the track, and at least in English I know also a little bit more, even if I not immediately find the words. I'm gonna check out the reference between the optional part from this one and for the B8, so we can see if they are different or not, and what we can put from that part on that one for those who want to do it. Also cool by T-Magic, you get a many carrier bag. It's not my stuff. I not like to put money in carrier bag. They are most of the time really costful, and I prefer to use the money for the trucks and take the trucks in just plastic bags. But someone of you likes to add super stuff to carry the truck, and here you have all. You have for 110 scale on-road, you have for the buggies and 110 scale monster trucks. In that bag you can also put a truggy, but maybe you have to put the tires away. You have carrier bag with rolls on for the weak guys. I never will roll my stuff. I have power, I lift it. Like I always say, if you not can lift what you want to take with you, it's not the stuff for you. And here we have the manual, who is also made specially for that one. So you have the real manual to the real car here with the real reference. Still in the beginning the same explication about security and using the cars and all the setup here. We're gonna check something also, because here you see big tools, and you see in the B8 you have small tools and you have optional heavier tools. So we're gonna check out what is here in the truck. Have they the bigger tools, the smaller tools? Have they really differential than the B8? Can we use the lightened nuts on output drive on the B8 or not? If it's the same, but this is something I have to do in the comparison. That's the plan from the plastic shocks. You should have originally with that, but you don't have it. You have the alloy shocks. So here you not have the correct reference for the alloy shock. Take care, you have to go to that reference here. Differential oil shock, differential shocks for differential oil. Sorry, front 10,000. But I say before 10,000 CST, but I don't know if it's 10,000 CST or V. Maybe CST, because V will be 1000 V. Center 50,000, and in the rear you have only 1000. It really seems to be that we have here really beefy tools on the main gears, because you have here bigger tires, but doing that you also have a lower gear ratio. That is also why they have put here a smaller pinion tools on the motor, but this is something I will go check out. All those from you who knows more than me than the truck, please comment. All for those from you who have tested, comment. All those who are not want to buy it because you not like such truck, you can also comment and tell you why and what did you expect from the brands to do for you. This is also something interesting. You see more and more the brands. We have T-Magic who already check out our videos, French, German, English, and they checked out the comments and they take note from what the end user want, and that is pretty cool. And we see that more and more. T-Magic, Sen, Arma, it's clear Arma, always there. Corrali, #1 here in Europe to follow and to check out what the user wants. So I hope to soon can make a test drive from it. I really want to drive it. A special thank to RC Distribution here in Europe, who allows me to get this truck with LC3D.ca. This is a shop in Switzerland, in Winterthur, who allows me to get 6 new Team Magic for make you all the videos and all the test runs. And after I have tested, they are free to buy for all followers from the channel with a special price, specially make for the channel. And that's AA. I know Team Magic. I know I will be disappointed about the toughness and in the time, the hold on in the time from this truck. I know that they are really tough trucks. What I will see what happened with the front output drive here. That's a failure. And how the body will hold it on seems like to be tough. I will drive it cool. I'm not gonna bash the car hard. Seems to be that the light bar is really tough. I prefer to have it in black because all from the rest of the truck is black, and the chrome will already fly fast away when I land on the roof. I will try to not land on the roof, but you know me, I'm not a good driver, and each time I see a jump, I cannot hold my throttle! Bye guys!